Hello everyone, my name is Nitin. I'm going to give a presentation on the projects done in AD7. So basically there are two projects. The first one being the minor project which deals with the revitalization of an existing structure, and the second one being the major project which deals with the code complex. So first we'll look into the minor project. So the task here was to document an old existing structure and suggest and revitalize that structure into a space which was useful for the neighborhood people. So the structure which I chose is in Talagatpura, which is along the Kanakpura main road. It's a 60-year-old building which was used as a leather making factory in those days, where they used to manufacture leather and they used to supply it to states such as Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So what I initially thought was to revitalize that structure into a leather factory outlet itself so that the old function remains the same and it gives more value to the structure as well as the surrounding space. So this sheet over here showcases the plans and the elevations of the existing structure, where the plan being a simple rectangular plan with a manufacturing unit as well as a small office space. The small rectangular plan towards the right acts as a storage space where they used to manufacture leather and they used to store the leather items. These two images showcases the elevation. So moving on to the proposed plan, where it's a G+1 structure proposed. The first plan is a ground floor plan where it acts as a manufacturing unit for making leather. The second plan acts as an outlet where they used to sell the manufactured leather. So basically, it's proposed as a manufacturing unit as well as an outlet in single building. So this is about the plan. Moving on to the next sheet, this sheet showcases elevations and sections. As you can see, there are a few details shown here. These details are the details of the materials used for the exterior. The ground floor contains a timber cladding. Why timber cladding is that? Timber cladding is versatile, it's a natural and durable material, it's environmental friendly, it's sustainable and economical. The first floor contains a glass panel, and these details over here are the fixing details of glass and the channel detail. So this is about the minor project. Moving on to the major project, which is the code complex. So before going into the brief, I'd like to explain about the site. So the brown marked portion is the given site where it's present in Dharwad. The site measures about 35,000 meters square. So there are a few important infrastructure and facilities present around the site, such as the National Highway Engineering Office, Mini Vidhan Sauda, SBI Dharwad, few schools, civil court, etc. So speaking about the vegetation, mostly natural vegetation is found in and around the site, and the trees commonly found are coconut, mango, and palm. The soil here is red soil. The climate of Dharwad is tropical climate, where the average temperature is about 24.3 degrees Celsius, and the annual rainfall is about 885 millimeters. The sunrise is at 6:20 a.m. and sunset is at 6:43 p.m. The wind direction is from the southwest towards the northeast. The blue line indicates the wind flows from southwest towards the northeast. About the traffic, heavy traffic is found in the morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and after 6 p.m. not much of fast moving traffic is found. Moving on to the design brief, the main idea was to design a code complex incorporating the main code building with all the requirements and the availabilities according to the context. So creating an open space and recreational space for public interactions and meetings was the main aim. Creating such a space and turning it into a landmark to that place by giving the required grandeur through aesthetics as well as the function. So mainly the form was derived based on the sightlines and the functions are provided based on the requirements and availability of the context. So the main aim was to express the idea that the code complex should be a place for meeting, for exchanging ideas, for sharing knowledge, rather than being a place for just discussing case related issues. So to bring in the public to the space irrespective of them wanting to visit the code complex was a thought which came into my mind while designing the code complex. So these sheets over here showcases the form development, where initially how the form was, and as it progressed how the form developed, and at last how the result was based on the sight lines. Moving on to the site plan, this road acts as a main road for the site. The site has 4 entries. This entry acts as a main pedestrian entry, and there is a sub road which is going. This entry acts as a secondary entry. These 2 entries are the entries for the parking. Parking has 2 entries. Why is that? It's separated for both public as well as the court staff. This entry acts as an entry for public. This entry acts as an entry for court staff. This building which you can see here is the main court building. Adjacent to it, there is a small restaurant provided with a service entry. The left out space is retained by the trees such as coconut and palm, and also a small garden space is provided towards the left bottom corner so that a touch of greenery can be found in the space. So this is about the site plan. Moving on to the basement plan. The basement plan is divided into 2 sectors. The topmost part is a space which acts as a parking for court staff, and the bottom space acts as a parking for public. As I mentioned, I have provided separate access for both public as well as court staff. This acts as an entry towards the public parking, and this acts as an exit for public parking. And this access which you can see here acts as a both entry and exit for court staff. Moving on to the technicality, a slope of about 1:10 is provided. Height of the basement is about 3.5 meters. Ramp length is about 35 meters. Ramp width changes for both court staff as well as public, where the court staff has a 2-way ramp which is about 7 meters, and the public has a 1-way ramp which is about 3.5 meters. A number of two-wheelers are 180 and the 4-wheeler parking are 270. These numbers are got from the Dharwad bylaws and FAR. This is the grid layout of the basement. So moving on to the ground floor plan, this acts as a main entry towards the building, where it's raised of about 0.6 level. As soon as you enter, you can find 3 axes, where if you go towards the left of the building, you can see spaces which are related to public, such as registrar, accounts, stamp vendors, stationaries, public relation office, etc. And a small waiting area is also provided. And the central space is provided with a large courtyard, where the interiors of the building does not face any problems related to light and ventilation. And the other part of the plan consists of the courtrooms as well as the adjacent judges' rooms. There have been provided a separate corridor for the judges and the lawyers so that a privacy gets created between the court staff as well as the public. So mainly there are 12 courtrooms provided, among which 4 are present on the ground floor. These are the courtrooms, and adjacent to them are the spaces for judges and the lawyers. And also, as I mentioned, to avoid the problems dealing with light and ventilation, the wall system of the building have been provided with glass panels, such as which you can see here. The glass panels are provided so that there is no problem dealing with light and ventilation, and also at regular intervals, windows have also been provided to avoid problems dealing with light and ventilation. So after each and every plan, grid layout as well as the column layout has been shown. Moving on to the first floor plan. First floor plan follows the same pattern as the ground floor plan. In addition to it, functions such as a cyber room and also a waiting area attached to it is provided so that it can be used by both public as well as the court staff. Moving on to the second floor plan, here as well, the same pattern follows. In addition to it, functions such as a cyber room, a waiting room adjacent to it, a small record room where they can store records, documents, or case-related documents, few stationaries, and a large record room for keeping the main case documents as well as other related files. As you can see, the form keeps on changing in each and every floor. This is due to the fact that it shows the massing on each floor and the irregularity, which adds on to the aesthetic as well as the uniqueness of the structure, and also based on the space and availability on each floor. And so moving on to the third floor plan, here it's completely spaced for the court staff, where functions such as few consultation rooms, a space for bar association where it is provided separately for women and men with a common balcony, washrooms have been provided, and also a canteen along with the lunchroom is provided for the court staff. So moving on to the final floor, which is the fourth floor, here it spaces functions such as a multi-function hall where they can have discussions or meetings related to case or other related issues, separate judges club, washrooms, and few consultation rooms. Along with that, a library which can be used by the court staff. And also towards the right, you can see a canteen adjacent to a lunch area which can be used by the lawyers and the judges. So moving on to the roof plan. So this is the courtyard area where it is covered using glass. The glass used here is a glass conservative roofing. Why glass conservative roofing is that it's energy efficient, it helps retain heat, and also it keeps the interiors warm during the winter. Even though it's expensive, it has high compressive strength compared to other glass materials. So this sheet over here represents the elevations, where the south elevation represents the front elevation, north elevation is the rear elevation, east and the west elevation are the side elevations. This sheet showcases sections where the section A is cut vertically to the plan, where it is cut through the courtyard, this being the courtyard. Section B is cut horizontally, where it is cut through the staircase, this being the staircase, and section C is cut in such a way that it showcases the washroom. So mainly there are three sections cut. Section A is cut vertically to the plan, section B and C is cut horizontally to the plan. Moving on to the final sheet, which is the views and the renderings. As I had mentioned earlier, I have provided few recreational and open spaces, which you can see here, which is provided next to the restaurant area, as I had mentioned earlier in the site plan. These spaces can be used as a space where their people can come, share their knowledge, share their views, rather than coming to the court place to discuss case-related issues. And also, as I mentioned earlier, the left-out space have been provided with greenery. As you can see, there is a garden with a fountain provided, so that a touch of greenery can be found on the site. And these views which you can see are the views of the main court building taken at different angles. The material used is gray ash blocks. The reason being is that gray ash blocks have high compressive strength, lower water absorption, high strength to weight ratio, and also they form a uniform spacing between each other. The glass panels have also been provided, which are openable, which I had mentioned earlier, and also louvers have been provided so that not much of sun enters into the building. So this is about the projects which I have done in 87, both minor and major. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.